The vast emptiness of space stretched before the human research vessel horizon, its sleek metallic hull gleaming under distant starlight. Dr. Haywon Park stood at the observation deck, her dark eyes scanning the unfamiliar star system they had recently entered. The mission was simple: explore, document, and make first contact with the recently discovered alien civilization known as the Luminari. Jun Lee, the mission commander, approached her with a digital tablet in hand. His steps were measured, calculated, typical of a trained space exploration professional. "Preliminary scans are showing interesting biological readings," he said, pointing to a holographic projection that materialized between them. The Luminari were unlike any species humanity had encountered before. Their bodies seemed almost crystalline, with transparent skin that revealed intricate internal structures. They lived on a planet with extremely low gravity and high radiation levels, conditions that would have killed most known biological entities. Arya Kim, the team's medical assistant, analyzed the initial data. Her fingers danced across multiple holographic screens, processing complex biological information. "Their cellular structure is remarkable," she muttered, more to herself than to her colleagues. "They've evolved to survive in conditions that would destroy most life forms." The ship's communication systems suddenly crackled. A transmission from the Luminari research outpost came through, fragmented but clear enough to understand. They were requesting a joint scientific expedition to a nearby mineral-rich asteroid. Haywon felt a mixture of excitement and professional caution. First contacts were always delicate, requiring precision and cultural sensitivity. The human team had undergone years of training for moments exactly like this. As their landing craft approached the asteroid's surface, the alien landscape revealed itself. Jagged crystal formations jutted from rocky terrain, reflecting multiple colors from the system's binary stars. The Luminari research team waited, their bodies seeming to shimmer and shift with the changing light. Initial greetings were exchanged through advanced translation devices. The Luminari moved with a fluid grace that seemed almost liquid, their communication a complex dance of light pulses and subtle body movements. Human technology worked overtime to interpret these intricate signals. Nara, the lead Luminari researcher, approached the human team. Her body was taller than average for her species, almost 2 meters high, with a translucent quality that made her appear almost ethereal. Her eyes, multiple and arranged in a circular pattern, studied the humans with intense curiosity. June stepped forward, wearing the standard diplomatic interaction suit. Its smart material could adjust to various environmental conditions and contained multiple communication and safety systems. "We come in peace," he said, the universal greeting programmed into the suit's translation matrix. Nara's response was a complex series of light pulses and body movements. The translation device worked frantically to convert her communication. "Curious beings," it finally translated, "strange and unexpected visitors." The research teams began their preliminary interactions. Scientists from both species moved carefully, each step calculated, each gesture measured. They collected mineral samples, exchanged initial scientific observations, and attempted to bridge the vast cultural and biological differences between them. Haywon watched the interactions, her medical training allowing her to observe subtle, biological responses. The Luminari's internal structures seemed to react differently to human presence, shifting, adapting, responding in ways that suggested an incredibly complex biological system. Suddenly, during a sample collection process, something unexpected happened. Nara's body tensed, and a strange vibration passed through her crystalline form. Before anyone could react, she moved in a way that suggested immediate physical distress. A fracture, simple yet potentially catastrophic in her unique biological structure. The human team's first real test was about to begin. How would they respond to an alien medical emergency using their limited understanding of Luminari physiology? Haywon stepped forward, her medical training rising to the challenge. The asteroid's harsh environment, the complex alien biology, and the potential diplomatic implications of their next actions hung in the balance. The moment of first contact had just become much more complicated. The asteroid's harsh environment seemed to grow tense, as Nara's crystalline body trembled. Her fracture was unlike anything the human medical team had ever encountered, a complex break that threatened to compromise her entire biological structure. Luminary medical drones buzzed around her, their advanced technology suddenly appearing. Helpless, their scanning systems flickered and reset, unable to process the precise nature of the injury. Junli watched with growing concern, understanding that this moment could define human-luminary relations. HFY Park stepped forward, her medical training pushing past the technological uncertainty. She had seen complex injuries before, but nothing quite like this alien physiology. The luminary researchers stepped back, their multiple eyes fixed on her with a mixture of fear and curiosity. "I can help," she said simply, her hands moving with a calm precision that seemed to contradict the complex situation. Arya Kim prepared the medical kit, her hands moving quickly but carefully. The kit contained both human and experimental xenobiological tools, a testament to years of preparation for unexpected encounters. The luminary medical team protested, their language translated into a series of desperate signals. "Impossible! Your methods are primitive, our technology is superior." Their crystalline bodies shifted with agitation, light pulses indicating extreme stress. Nara's pain was evident. Her body flickered between solid and semi-transparent states, a biological response to extreme physical trauma. The medical drones continued their ineffective attempts, their advanced algorithms failing to understand the nuanced nature of her injury. HFY knew she had moments to act. In space exploration, hesitation could mean death. She had trained for years, studied multiple medical approaches, and understood that technology was not always the best solution. She knelt beside Nara, her movements slow and deliberate. The luminary researchers backed away, their bodies creating a protective circle. Their technology had always solved their medical problems. The idea of manual intervention was completely foreign to them. "This will hurt," HFY said quietly. Though she wasn't sure Nara could fully understand her words, communication was more than language. It was about intention, about trust. Her hands moved with a surgeon's precision. Years of medical training, countless hours of practice muscle memory developed through thousands of procedures, all focused on this single moment. The luminary observers gasped. Their medical technology relied on precise robotic interventions, gentle manipulations that avoided direct physical contact. What HFY was about to do seemed brutally primitive to them. Junli watched carefully. As mission commander, he understood the diplomatic implications of this moment. A failed intervention could destroy years of potential cooperation. Nara's body began to vibrate more intensely. The fracture was complex, running through her unique crystalline biological structure in ways that defied standard medical understanding. Her multiple eyes focused on HFY, a mix of terror and desperate hope. "That's barbaric," she suddenly screamed, her translated words cutting through the tension. But HFY didn't stop. Her hands found the precise points of tension, understanding. That healing was sometimes about more than technology. It was about understanding, about touch, about the fundamental connection between living beings. With one swift, calculated movement, she began to reset the fracture. The asteroid seemed to grow silent. The luminary medical drones stopped their futile scanning. June and Arya held their breath. Everything depended on these next few moments. Nara's scream echoed through the crystalline environment, a sound of pain, of fear, of something fundamentally transformative, and then silence. The human team waited. The luminary researchers watched. The medical drones hovered, their advanced systems seemingly confused by the simple, direct human intervention. Something had changed, something fundamental about how they understood medical treatment, about how different species might approach problem-solving, about the nature of healing itself. First contact had just become much more complicated and much more interesting. The moment stretched like an elastic band about to snap. HFY's hands remained steady, her fingers placed precisely along Nara's fractured crystalline structure. The luminary researchers watched in horrified fascination, their multiple eyes blinking in rapid sequences of light and color. Nara's body trembled. Her internal systems were designed for precision technology, for gentle robotic interventions. This human method, direct, physical, almost violent in its approach, was completely alien to her understanding of medical treatment. With a single calculated movement, HFY applied pressure. The sound was unlike anything the Luminari had ever heard, a sharp crack that echoed through the asteroid's rocky cavern. It was the sound of bone realigning, of biology being forced back into its correct configuration. Nara screamed. The translation device captured her words perfectly. "That's barbaric." But something extraordinary was happening. As the initial shock of pain subsided, a strange calm began to spread through her crystalline body. The fracture, once a complex web of breaks that had confused their most advanced medical technology, was slowly finding its natural alignment. Junli watched carefully. As mission commander, he understood this was more than a medical procedure. This was a moment of cultural collision, of two completely different approaches to problem-solving meeting in a single critical moment. Arya Kim prepared medical scanners, her hands moving quickly to document every microscopic change. The human team had prepared for years for unexpected encounters, but nothing could have prepared them for this. The Luminari medical drones hovered uselessly. Their advanced scanning systems continued to flicker and reset, unable to comprehend the simple, direct method being used. Their entire medical philosophy was based on non-invasive, technology-driven interventions. HFY's hands moved with a surgeon's precision. Years of medical training had taught her that healing was not just about technology, but about understanding. Her fingers felt the subtle shifts in Nara's unique biological structure, making micro-adjustments that no machine could calculate. Minutes passed. The asteroid's harsh environment seemed to grow still. Even the distant starlight appeared to pause, watching this extraordinary moment of interspecies medical intervention. Nara's body began to stabilize. The initial shock of pain gave way to something else, a strange sense of healing that defied her species' understanding of medical treatment. Her multiple eyes focused on HFY, a mix of fear, pain, and emerging curiosity. The Luminari researchers moved closer. Their bodies shifted and shimmered, trying to understand what they were witnessing. Their most advanced medical technology had failed, yet this human, using nothing more than hands and medical knowledge, was succeeding. "Impossible," one of the Luminari researchers translated through their communication device, but the evidence was right in front of them. June recognized the moment for what it was, a breakthrough. Not just in medical treatment, but in understanding. Humans were showing they were more than just another technological species. They were adaptable, intuitive, capable of solving problems in ways that defied conventional thinking. Arya's scanners began to show remarkable data. Nara's biological structure was healing faster than any of their predictive models had suggested. The manual reset was working in ways their technology could not comprehend. As the final adjustments were made, Nara's body began to fully stabilize. The fracture that had seemed impossible to repair was now aligning perfectly. Her crystalline structure began to regain its natural, vibrant appearance. The Luminari medical team stood in shocked silence. Their entire understanding of medical intervention was being challenged by this simple, direct human method. HFY took a step back. Her job was done. The reset was complete. Nara looked up, her multiple eyes focusing on the human doctor. The translation device captured her words, no longer a scream of pain, but something else entirely. "How did you do that?" The asteroid seemed to hold its breath. First contact had just become something much more profound than anyone could have expected. The asteroid's research station transformed into a place of unexpected discovery. Luminari scientists gathered around Nara, their crystalline bodies shifting with confusion and curiosity. The manual bone reset had challenged everything they believed about medical intervention. HFY stood quietly, watching as the alien researchers examined Nara. Her simple action had become something more than a medical procedure. It was now a cultural bridge between two completely different species. Junli recognized the significance of the moment. First contacts were delicate, but this unexpected medical intervention had opened a door nobody had anticipated. The luminary's technological superiority suddenly seemed less absolute. Her healing rate is 287% faster than our most advanced regenerative technologies, a luminary researcher announced. His translation device made his words crisp and clear. The numbers flickered on holographic screens, challenging their own scientific understanding. Thus, Nara's body continued to fascinate the human medical team. Her crystalline structure responded differently to the manual reset, healing patterns that defied their previous scientific models. Arya Kim's scanning devices worked overtime, capturing every microscopic change. The Luminary Medical Council transmitted questions. Their communication was a complex dance of light pulses and subtle body movements. Each pulse asked about the human method, about the seemingly barbaric intervention that had worked so effectively. "We train our doctors to understand biology, not just technology," Haywan explained simply. Her words were direct without unnecessary complexity. One senior luminary researcher approached her. His body shifted between transparent and solid states, a sign of extreme emotional processing. "Your method is unconventional," he translated, his multiple eyes studying her carefully. June understood this was more than a medical discussion. This was a moment of cultural exchange, of challenging fundamental beliefs about technology and biological understanding. The research station became a hub of intense scientific discussion. Luminary researchers compared their advanced scanning technologies with the human's hands-on approach. Their most sophisticated medical drones had failed where human intuition succeeded. Nara's recovery became a central point of discussion. Her fractured structure, once considered impossibly complex, now showed remarkable healing progress. The manual reset had triggered biological responses their technology could not predict. "Humans adapt," Arya explained to the curious luminary scientists. "Our medical training focuses on understanding, not just treating." The implications were profound. The luminary had always believed technological superiority meant complete solution. Humans demonstrated that intuition, skill, and direct intervention could sometimes be more effective than advanced machinery. Holographic displays showed comparative healing rates. The human manual method outperformed luminary technological interventions in multiple biological scenarios. Each graph, each data point challenged their fundamental scientific beliefs. "We have much to learn," one luminary researcher admitted. His translation device captured a tone of humble recognition. Haywan remained calm. She understood this moment was bigger than her individual action. It represented humanity's approach to problem-solving, adaptable, intuitive, willing to challenge established technological paradigms. The research station buzzed with energy. Scientists from both species began sharing knowledge, comparing medical techniques, challenging their previous understanding. What had started as a potential diplomatic incident was transforming into a profound scientific exchange. Nara moved around the station, her previously fractured structure now fully healed. Her multiple eyes studied the human medical team with a new perspective. The fear and pain from earlier had transformed into genuine scientific curiosity. Junli smiled quietly. First contacts were unpredictable, but this one had opened unexpected doors. A simple medical intervention had become a bridge between two different civilizations. As distant stars watched through the asteroid's transparent research dome, two species began to understand each other in ways no one could have predicted. Technology was important, but understanding, true, deep understanding, was the real key to progress. The human team had arrived as explorers. They were leaving as teachers, as bridge builders between worlds, and Nara, once terrified by what she called barbaric methods, now saw humans through a completely different lens. Weeks passed. After the unexpected medical intervention, the human research vessel Horizon remained docked at the Luminary Research Station, a symbol of new cooperation and understanding. Nara had become something of a bridge between her species and the humans. Her rapid recovery and continued fascination with human medical techniques made her an unexpected ambassador. The crystalline structure of her body seemed to pulse with a new energy, a mix of scientific curiosity and profound respect. HFY spent hours discussing medical approaches with luminary researchers. Their advanced technology had always relied on precise robotic interventions, avoiding direct physical contact. Humans showed them a different approach, one that valued touch, intuition, and direct understanding of biological systems. The research station became a place of constant learning. Luminary scientists studied human medical texts, watching recordings of manual medical interventions. They discovered a world of medical knowledge that went beyond their technological solutions. Junli observed the cultural exchange with quiet satisfaction. Diplomatic missions were always unpredictable, but this one had transformed into something extraordinary. Humans were no longer just another species to be studied. They were partners in scientific discovery. Arya Kim worked with luminary medical teams, demonstrating human techniques. She showed them how understanding anatomy was more than just scanning and analyzing. It was about feeling, about intuition, about connecting with the living system. The Luminary Medical Council began a radical re-evaluation of their medical practices. Their most advanced technologies suddenly seemed limited. They realized that technological superiority didn't always mean the best solution. Nara became a living example of human medical effectiveness. Her body continued to heal in ways that defied their previous understanding. Each day brought new discoveries, new insights into biological adaptation. Star systems away, news of the breakthrough began to spread. Other alien civilizations heard about the humans who could heal in ways that challenged technological assumptions. The story of the manual bone reset became a legend of scientific innovation. The research station transformed. What had begun as a simple exploration mission became a center of interspecies medical research. Luminary researchers now viewed humans with a mix of respect and genuine scientific curiosity. "We were wrong," the lead luminary researcher admitted during a formal scientific conference. His translation device captured the profound nature of their realization. Technology is a tool, not a complete solution. HFY understood the deeper significance. Medical treatment was about more than just fixing biological systems. It was about understanding, about connection, about recognizing the complexity of living beings. June recognized this as more than a scientific breakthrough. It was a diplomatic achievement that could reshape interstellar relationships. Humans had shown they were more than just another technological species. The Luminari began developing new medical training programs. They incorporated human techniques, learning to balance their advanced technology with direct, intuitive approaches. Their medical academies started teaching hands-on intervention alongside technological solutions. Nara became a key figure in this transformation. Her personal experience of human medical intervention had changed her entire perspective. She traveled between human and luminary research centers, sharing her story. Distant stars seemed to watch this unfolding story of understanding. What had started as a potentially catastrophic first contact had become a beacon of scientific cooperation. Arya continued to train luminary medical researchers. She showed them that medical treatment was an art as much as a science. Understanding came from observation, from touch, from genuine connection with living systems. The research station became a symbol of something larger. It represented hope. Hope that different species could learn from each other, could challenge their own assumptions, could grow beyond their initial limitations. As the Horizon prepared for its next mission, the human team knew they had achieved something remarkable. They had not just explored a new star system. They had opened a door to a new way of understanding. Nara watched the human ship prepare for departure. Her multiple eyes reflected the starlight, a living testament to the power of understanding, of cooperation, of seeing beyond technological limitations. The universe, vast and mysterious, had just become a little smaller, a little more connected.